segment is sponsored by Jacobs Financial Services. If you're like most people who are invested in the stock market, the uncertainty of these times can seem daunting. When you're new in your career, you have time to recover from whatever bumps may be headed our way. But if you're nearing retirement, there are some smart moves you ought to be considering to safeguard the retirement you've worked so hard to achieve. Tom Jacobs is here from Jacobs Financial Services to talk about what those moves should be. Hello.
Hello. Here's what I believe. I believe as we get older, we need to take less risk, less time to recover, and people really need to take stock. If we see a major correction in the market, which hopefully we don't, but just pretend you have $100, something bad happens and the 100 turns into 50. Just to get back to even, you would need a 100% return on your money. That's not going to happen.
Likely, yeah.
So let's take that off the table. Let's put that money in a safe spot where you can't lose it.
It's tough, Tom, though, because, you know, like all of our careers, our working lives, they say, fully fund that 401k, plunk it in there, get it in there. Come on now, put your money to work. And then all of a sudden, we got to shut that off and start moving it elsewhere.
Well, there's different phases of life. So what you were referring to is the accumulations phase. I'm working, I'm grinding, I'm saving. But once we have entered the next phase, which is the de-accumulation phase, it's so important that the money is in a spot where it just simply cannot go away by something that you have no control over.
So when I sit down with you to talk about planning, what are you advising folks to do right now? Well,
it depends on the folks. I mean, everybody's planning meeting is different. Everyone has different goals. But number one, let's have a plan. And if you do that, you're 90% ahead of the rest of the people. But we really want to determine where is your income going to come from in retirement. So we're going to map this all out, look at Social Security, pensions, what do we do with the 401k? We create what's called an income plan. Here's the different spots where you can go to for money. When do we go to each of those spots? What are the tax implications? What does my income look at retirement and from what sources? Because
with you're continuing to draw a paycheck, so to speak, right?
Absolutely. And sometimes people don't think, hey, when I retire tomorrow, where's my next paycheck going to come from? Well, it might come from Social Security, it might come from your pension, it might be drawing on your investments. I'm not sure. It's different for everybody, but we have to be really smart on when we take money and where we take it from, and we really need to be mindful of the taxes.
I think a lot of people are afraid that maybe they've not done a good enough job during the accumulation phase.
Yeah, they do. And I tell people, look, when's the best time to plant an oak tree? 20 years ago. So if you messed up 20 years ago, the next best time is today. Let's just see where we are, and let's go to work on where we are to get you to that finish line.
Let's talk about the roadmap that you help people create for their retirement.
Well, you call it a handy-dandy notebook.
Yes, I do.
We call it a roadmap, which simply lays out, here's where I am today, here's where I'm trying to get to, how do I claim Social Security, what do I do with pension, all of these what we call milestones, the decisions people need to make. And I recognize that can be an overwhelming, holy cow, and I just help people understand, look, we have retired Jacobs Financial with our clients thousands of times. Let us help you take the best shot that you have to win in your retirement.
So then the plan is settled into a notebook and divvied up by all the categories you speak of, and it's a guide that people can pull out as a reference and double check they're on plan?
Well, that's exactly what we do. We do annual reviews with our clients as an example. And the first thing we look at is the plan. How are we doing? Do we need more money? Do we not need quite as much money? And we're constantly going back to that. It's kind of like a flight plan. You go to the airport today, you're going to Mexico, the pilot has a flight plan, but once you get up in the air, we got to make some tweaks, and we do that on a regular basis.
Yeah, because setting it in stone would not be a wise, life happens, right?
The world changes, yeah.
And that requires a certain relationship with you, and that is a big part, I think, of the experience with you, Tom.
I really do, and we are very client-focused. We know our clients, we serve our clients, we spend time with our clients. It's not just business. I wear this great big Super Bowl ring. On the side it says DBDL, do business, do life. And for us, it's very important that we get a chance to do life with our clients and help them win and recognize all their dreams.
All right, do it with Tom. Here's the contact information to book an appointment. The phone number 616-622-4654 or visit jacobsfs.com. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.